Hello and welcome back to this channel. So glad you could join me on today. I pray that everything is well with you and your family and that we are just pushing our way through to get over this election, to see what the end is going to be. So when thinking about what I wanted to do today, I thought about something that keeps popping up in my family, and I know that if it's popping up in my family, you all who are voting a different type of way than traditionally mandated, sort of say, it's a very difficult time for you because we love our families. We spend time with our families. We are not only family by blood, but our traditions, our customs, the things that we do, it helps to incorporate us more as a unit. And so when you step out of the mindset of your traditional family, when it comes down to this election, you have a fight on your hands. Now, I have said in previous videos before, I have been Team Trump for a while now. And I really dig his personality because he's straight to the point. I mean, he doesn't polish his, or he's doing better by polishing up his words now, but he just says it as he feels it and as it is. And a lot of people have time or have a problem with the truth bomb. It's something about truth that rubs people the wrong way. It's something about truth that makes people feel uncomfortable. But I wanted to drop by today just to say, I am, and I hope that you join me, I am giving our older Black Americans, our older Black FBAs, ADOS, I'm giving them grace, election grace. And that's what I think I want to title this here today. We're going to give election grace. In speaking with so many of my family members, we are very, very close. We are a tight unit. And I'm talking about from my great aunties to my grandmother to even my parents. My parents, my mom is in her mid-60s. My dad, he's in his early 70s. And they have their own concept. My grandmother, of course, has hers. And my great aunties and things of that nature, they definitely have their own stance on the political system. And in the beginning, it would aggravate me because I'm like, don't you all see what's going on? Don't you all understand what's at stake in this particular election? And it would anger me as we would have these debates because I'm here and I can actually show you proof of these things. However, you don't want to see it. You don't want any parts of what I can actually produce to you as truth. You want no parts of it. And it kind of blows me away because the principles that were taught in the home and within the village, and what I mean village, I'm talking about the family unit where you could take your kids to grandma's house or everybody meets at mama's house and all the kids run and play free. That unit, you know that your kids are safe because somebody within the family, they're watching. So that's what I mean as that unit. And when you have decided to go against that, it becomes a huge problem. But I have come to realize that regardless to what facts that you have and that you can present, with those various generations of family members, I have to, as an adult, I have to realize why they are so hardcore on their position as Democrat. And I'm not even telling them to become a Republican, because I'm not a Republican. There's certain things I don't like about the right as I don't like about the left. But more so, it's a lot I don't like about the left. And more so I can kind of deal with on the right. However, with that being said, when I spoke of those past generations of my family, each of those generations went through something or experienced something that made them concrete ready to stand on their electoral positions. And it's aggravating, it's frustrating, but this is who they are. So when I talk about even my paternal grandparents, and my grandmother is still living, and I speak about one of my aunts who we buried back here in July, who was 104 days old, who made it to be 104 days old, still talking, still in her right mind at 104 days old. When I look at where they came from and what they had to do, and how things shifted in a way that when they only had each other, they had to have one mindset and one mindset only. And actually during that time, the Democratic Party was a lot different than what it is now. They aren't able to hide like they once could back in those days because of this thing called technology. We have, and we understand as adults, as young adults, as teenagers, and even as children, we understand that we have the whole world at our fingertips. We were able to live in the era where technology is not so hard for us. We know how to go on and research and find different things, whereas our previous generations, our parents, our grandparents, great-grandparents, and so on and so forth, they didn't grow up in a technology type of era. The TV was big when you had radios. Then RCA came and made it more of a national household thing, having radios, and then to evolve from the radio to the television and to have your newspapers. And these were the sources. These were the sources of information, how our parents, grandparents, and so forth, how they accessed that type of information. But now we're in a generation where we know what's a reputable source. We know how to find information, and there's really no excuse for us. But I don't know about you, but for most of my family who are older people, I have to show them a lot and go over things a lot when it comes down just to simple technology issues. How to send an email, how to send a text, how to do this, how to do that. Simple things that we take for granted that we know. It's overwhelming for a lot of our older Black Americans. And they've gotten so used to in their ways. You know how they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's not that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Is that dog willing to put in the work to learn? And for most of our parents and our grandparents and so forth, they are comfortable. Most of them have retired. They are marching to the beat of their own drum. They fought and they protested during their time. They held up signs. They marched. They had the afros with the bell bottoms. I mean, this was their era. This is when they put in the work for what they felt like was needed for their time. Now it's our time, and we're actually able to see things differently. We're able to pull up information, as I said before, at our fingertips. And that is overwhelming for a lot of our seniors. And they don't want to know. They're comfortable in their ways. And that just has to be accepted. So what does that mean for us? As adults, those who are actually out here putting in that work, for younger adults who probably just graduated college, and even for our younger ones. What it means is, as adults and as young adults and those who are able to vote, we must vote in our best interests. I'm not saying that it's Donald Trump. I'm definitely not saying it's Kamala Harris. But we even have younger people and people on the hip hop scene who have been bought or who have an agenda within themselves that they wish to continue. And so they're going to vote for their interests. When we have proof and when we have shown evidence of why, I'm talking about the younger people now, of why you should vote this way and they still would like to vote that way, that means that there's an agenda somewhere within that Democratic plan that they wish to continue or they wish to further. And for those people, we can pray for, but we can have a problem with. In terms of their thinking, we don't have to have beef with them or dislike them or anything like that. But we have to understand, as free thinkers, that there's something that they like on that side, and we have to accept that. Respect it, but know what we have to do. It's all about being around like-minded people. When it comes down to people of your own peers, older and elder people, that's different. But let me know what you think. Have you had this problem within your family? How do you handle it? How have you handled it? And is it getting worse as the days of this election draws near? Because I know it is for me. Let me know what you think. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.